afternoon. How are we doing? How is everybody this afternoon? All good? Made lots of money off the news. Nice big moves. Afternoon, Ian. Novelty. Kennelly, Amy, Danny, Crom, Fletch, Evil, Meh, Maggie, Gregors, Peter, JC, Virginia, Brian. How we doing? Hey, hey, glitch. What? Wet hair day? No? Normal hair? Was wet hair morning? This morning. Morning monkey. Afternoon even. Outro. Rico. Nice hoodie. I know, it's good, isn't it? Logo on everything. I can be one of those need a gold chain, don't I, around there like that. I could sell you a course now on how to get a Lamborghini. But I'm not going to. Ed 209 brain today, and that's not good. Afternoon, David. Right, just quick recap of the morning. So DAX this morning, nice clean break. Easy money today. So just clean break out the lows. Very, very slow today because we were waiting for this CPI figure. For the interest rate figure for the euro. But managed to just about grab 2R on the first position and then trailed down. And I got out basically with a trailer when the news hit. FTSE got hedged. Didn't go anywhere all day. So as this started to take off, I closed out the shorts and then closed out the longs up there. So that closed out at basically break even. So $170 odd on the morning, which is all right. US indices, we've had quite a lot of movement today. So we haven't got ADRs though. So we're still well within ADR on everything. Although obviously we've just had the news on the US dollar, which has obviously rallied it. So we've had that much movement really. And obviously plenty of room to ADR. So should hopefully be a normal session. So this morning we've had nothing update. So this morning we've had the euro rate, which is 4.5 as expected. We had the monetary policy statement and the ECB press conference was at 145. We've had GDP for the US, which came out bullish, and we've had unemployment claims, which came out bearish. So if you have a quick look at the US dollar, you can see that the euro is coming down against the US dollar, which means the US dollar is strong. Same with the pound. So we've had a strong US dollar, all retraced back to normal. So no news, basically, really. It's slightly bearish US there, slightly bullish US there. It's all over the place, basically. So there's no real advantage either way. We've had a few ADRs today, which we will have a look at. Most of that is euro, obviously, because of the euro rate announcement. So the euro has had a very bad reaction to its news. So we've got 4 minutes to go. So if we just whiz through, the rate obviously came out at 4.5. Based on current assessments, ECB considers the interest rates are at levels that, maintained for sufficiently long duration, will make substantial contribution to its goal, which is 2% of interest. So they're saying basically everything seems to be working. They're going to carry on doing what they are doing. And that's pretty much it out the monetary policy statement. So that was kind of that part of it. Then Lagarde has come out, obviously, and said everything that she wanted to say regarding it. And all that really came out of that was business as usual. We're still waiting to monitor CPI. We're still waiting for CPI to start dropping before we look at dropping the interest rates. We're not sure when we're going to do it. So the market's basically now factoring in 1.4% drop during this year as opposed to 1.3, because it's basically the longer you go without dropping rates, the faster that is probably going to hit the inflation target, and the faster you're going to have to drop them. So the more the rates get delayed, the higher the amount that will be dropped will be. So there is nothing really in this that is any use to us whatsoever for a directional bias or any indication as to when interest rates might change. So negative reaction on the euro, but not massive, as you can see. Euro odd's the only thing really that's done a big one, which is 125. That's pulling back now. Aussie dollar Swiss. So Swiss franc moves with the euro. So obviously, as the euro dropped, the Swiss franc dropped. That rallied. So we've had a few hits. Nothing on the RSIs at the moment, so nothing to look at there. 3.37% banked yesterday on H1M5. Everything's going fine. Just waiting for stuff to play out. And Jen's doing well again. Bottom. Please break that. If we can break that, we are 99.9% guaranteed to get 125 ADR. Just can't get through that level. It's driving me nuts. 5-6 days now we've tried to get through that. Pretty much every day we've had a crack at it, apart from that day there. Crack. Just knocking on the door. Just can't get through. Doing my head in. Anyway, ADR reversals have banked 1.2% today. CAD Swiss, let's pull him back a little bit. I'm going to leave that running. Could bank that. It's another 0.25%. Hedging banked nothing today so far. Got 0.25% on New Zealand dollar Swiss. I could bank again. It's almost to target. And New Zealand's coming down again. Nothing worth banking at the minute on that, so just leave that for the minute. Right. Oh, market's open. Short on the Dow. Short on the NASDAQ. Decaf. Lee member. Yeah, I could be a Lee member. Member FX, love him. E-bike. What? Or member Lee, whichever works. Yeah, that works well. Just need to change the stream background to a picture of a massive villa with a pool and a Lambo. I could get a green screen and I could sort that out. Definitely. All three strategies seem to be doing well so far this year, yeah. H1M5 is a bit slow so far, but ADR reversals. This is the beauty of using three different strategies. H1M5 is very sweepy, multi-day, multi-week movements we're playing. ADR reversals are very in, out, very fast within a couple of days. And hedging just makes money when the market moves up and down. So you've got three different variations on position trading, but they all work well most of the time, but some work better in certain markets than others. And ADR reversals this month is so far is the big one, because we've had a lot of that sort of movement. We've had a lot of ADR hits. I mean, that one I just showed you on the pound New Zealand. Look. ADR is 131. So you got 150 there. So ADR hit to the downside, out. ADR hit to the downside, out. Don't think that was an ADR hit to the downside, but you had an out if it was. ADR hit to the upside, out. Got 4 trade possibilities there on ADR reversals. Just bank. Great. But H1M5 sits there going, move, because it needs more swing. So, and obviously hedging just banks constantly. So yeah, it's good. But there will be months where this will be bad. There will be months where all three of them will be bad. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts, but so far so good. Anyway, it's only month one. Give it a chance. The market will squeeze us at some point. Afternoon, day trader. Afternoon, Mimo. Short on the S&P as well. We got more news this afternoon. I didn't check. Yeah, we have home sales at 3. Do without a triple hedge day today, please. We've got 1.5 minutes till candle close, until the initial cash balance is in. We had over 100 people in the live room this morning. 107, I think I saw it get up to at one point, which is good. So keep those thumbs coming, because the thumbs seem to be encouraging people. 81 of you in here now. I'm not going to name and shame individuals, but there should be at least 40 likes, shouldn't there? I will slowly go into the video and see how many likes we've got. Very slowly, just to give you a chance to use the thumb. Not the heart, I saw that. The thumb. 110 people this morning, was it, Evil? All right. Even better. 36, that's almost half. Almost half. Almost. Just going to refresh. 42, good job. There we go. Obviously, it does affect the algos, doesn't it? Because the numbers have been, we've been doing this thumbs up thing pretty much all week. I tell you to do it, you do it. And numbers have gone over 100. Which is good. It obviously does do something. About to get hedged on the Dow. It looks like it's going to be a triple hedge. To me, this market's rejecting the short move. Which is fine. Just annoying if it does, but we'll see. So there's your 5-minute opening range on the S&P, 5-minute on the Dow, and your 5-minute on the NASDAQ. So basically, sellers tried to take control and have failed so far. So we'll see where we go on this 5. But if you want to take the 5-minute ORB, there's your range. Quite a nice range today. But we will see where we go in the next 5 minutes. We'll come back to that in a minute. I suspect it'll be a triple hedge, but we'll see. So I'm going to quickly run through the ADRs. Aussie dollar Swiss is rallying. I'm going to... Let's not analyze it. I want to bank something today. I can bank 0.3 at the moment on Aussie Swiss and US Swiss. So my Swiss franc exposure, I've got 4 shorts and 1 long. So what I'm going to do, maybe the wrong thing to do, but I don't care. I'm going to close out the US dollar Swiss. I'm going to close out the Aussie dollar Swiss, because that's just bounced out of that propulsion gap at 125 ADR. So chances are that's going to pull back. So I'm just going to close those 2, which banks 0.3% on the day. Also reduces my Swiss franc exposure. US pound yen, I really, God, if we can break that low today, that'd be amazing, because I really want to stop paying swaps on this bloody thing. It's costing a fortune. First, what's that? 40, 80, 120, 120, 170, 210, 240, $350 in swaps on the pound yen at the moment. So look at that. We are sitting at break even. However, I am still 0.8% in drawdown. Swaps, can't do anything about them, but I'd really like to get out of this today if I can at 125 ADR and then just get flat. They're killing me, these yens. Absolutely killing me. Swaps is just so expensive on the yen. Nothing you can do. Better coffee today? No, it's still that crap. I'm still drinking my decaf in the afternoon. Afternoon, Evans. Did you get out of your US hedges yesterday? Yes. So yesterday's hedges, we'll look at the ADRs in a sec. Still not hedged on any of those. So yesterday's hedges were, I showed them in the live room this morning, but NASDAQ, I got out on that double top there. And then we pushed up. So if you remember yesterday, the target on the NASDAQ was ADR, which was pretty much where that line is today, actually. So that was my target yesterday, which was roughly an ADR. I got out as we double topped. So we had a massive bearish engulfing going there, and it looked like we might just pull back. So I got out of those there, took the heat up to there, and then got out on the aggressive exit there. The S&P, very much the same move. So took the double top. That was pretty much, actually you can see, look, there. That was where the target was. I got out as we double topped there. Took a tiny bit of heat and then out on the aggressive. And the S&P, sorry, the Dow. So the Dow, I explained this in the live room this morning, but the Dow got hedged. So with the Dow, basically, when we pushed down, we double bottomed, we pushed back up again. And basically at this point here is where on the S&P and the NASDAQ, yeah, we hit that ADR level and bounced off. So as I saw this bouncing back down again across the NASDAQ and the S&P, on the Dow, I exited the longs with a loss, assuming that the Dow, because obviously the Dow's making a lower low, while the S&P and the NASDAQ made a higher high. So divergence there, basically bearish. So I just got out of that one, and then it tanked, and I got out of that one short. So that was about $20 loss, break even, something like that. The other two were very small profits. So it was very small profit yesterday. It was 0.56, 0.5%. Yeah, not easy yesterday at all. Hedged on the Dow. S&P inside bar. So we've got an inside bar on the opening range on the S&P. We've got an inside bar on the opening range on the NASDAQ as well. Market's waiting for something. That's gone. 110 people. Yeah, sorry, I've already answered that one. Come on, do the YouTube business. Come on, do the YouTube business. What? What happens when we get to 1,000? What, people? Well, then I stop trading and start earning money out of views on YouTube and become a YouTuber. I guess. I don't know. We're not going to get to 1,000. Get that ad revenue to fund the 2024 Big Mac account. Yeah. Yeah, my ad revenue, I think it's about 100. I don't know what it is. Not a lot. It's not enough. Well, it's not enough. I mean, it's not really anything. Wish it was. It'd be nice to be a YouTuber. Basically, you just get paid for waffling. That's it, isn't it, really? I think YouTubers work a lot harder than I do because they have to come up with content, they have to record content, they have to edit content, then they have to go and find people to sponsor their content, then they have to post their content, then they have to market their content. It's much easier just sitting here waiting for the NASDAQ to drop, the S&P to drop, banking $300 and walking away and doing something else, in my opinion. But anyway, YouTubing is a job. This is a lifestyle. After trading SIH for 3 months, I lost everything I've gained so far, and I'm now in drawdown. Okay. How have you lost everything? You're doing something wrong. I'm not losing anything. I'm trading SIH every day. I'm up 3.5% this month. I was up a lot more this month, but had two bad days, two very bad days. I guess if you've had many bad days in a row, then yeah, Shane, your yen wasn't long to get paid positive swaps. Yeah, I'm not interested in long in the yen at the moment, not with them interest rates changing. But yeah. Any plans on the upcoming BTC halving? Don't even know what that is. So no. If it's crypto, I've no idea. I don't do crypto. Right, market seems to be. We've got a new low of the day on the S&P. Dow seems to be rejecting pre-market highs, and NASDAQ is attempting new low of the day as well. So, bit of a schizophrenic market this afternoon. Not really sure on direction at the moment, but S&P is trying to go bear. Made 12% during the past 3 months, but lost it all during the past 7 days. How can you lose it all in 7 days? Wrong decisions, I guess, which is fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. All I can do is show you my P&L, and you've been watching it live. So last 5 days for me have been half and one. All right. A couple of failed drawdown control attempts. Yeah. So the only downside to this strategy is if you have an aggressive drawdown control attempt that fails, and you just let it run, yeah, it will have big down days. I've shown all this in the screenshots. Yeah, you are, if you don't do something about it, you will get hurt. So this is part of your job as a trader. You know, so there's a $6,000 win, $6,000 win, $7,000 loss, 3.5 win, 2 loss, 2.5 loss, 2 loss, 3 win, 2 loss, 2.5, 3, blah 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 blah. 24.8k loss. Yeah, aggressive drawdown control failed. You need to re-hedge these, ideally. Days like that, nothing you can do about it. If you re-hedge it, maximum you're going to take is 2x loss. So that's really individual discretion. But yeah, I mean, you need to. This is why I leave. A lot of people do seem to get out too early on some of these. You know, when we looked at yesterday, so ADR yesterday, what's ADR? 226. Yeah, so that is 223. That move we had yesterday on the NASDAQ. Yeah. So we got hedged on it. And I said, well, there's no upside target, so I will go with ADR, which would have been pretty much where it is now. And I said, we'll just go shy of ADR. The reason being is we know that we get exhausted at ADR. If 5R is here and ADR is up there, I would much rather go ADR than go 5R, because we know the market can go way beyond ADR as well, don't we? So you've just got to kind of use your head on them. And if we get to ADR and you push up the aggressive triggers and it pushes down, and then you comes back up and you're sitting now at 125 ADR, you have to re-hedge it. But you've got to do this. You can't, there's no way of building any logic in. I can build in a logic to auto re-hedge, but I can't build in a logic for you to adjust the target to a logical place, because a logical place is discretionary. Normally yesterday's high, yesterday's low. If yesterday's high and low is too close, you want to pick something a little bit further away. What is it? This is where the discretion part of it comes in. And there is no right or wrong. It's just, it will or won't work. So unfortunately, there's not a crystal ball kind of, or one size fits all option for those type of exits. I took my aggressive, the pound yen, and didn't put it back on, and it's now crashing. Pound yen. Well, it's not really crashing, is it? So we looked at this one this morning for a rollover, and the same with the pound yen. So we got a high, a low, a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low. Actually, that's not right. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So market structure is definitely rolling on these yens, but not very convincingly. There's good chance this could be an extended flag. Still, we haven't had enough information out of Japan for interest rates, but it certainly looks like it at the moment. So again, that US dollar yen relationship, when we get the US dollar having a weak moment, we tend to get strength in the yen, or vice versa. I mean, it's really depends on the market conditions, but got a big strong move coming through on this US at the moment. Look. So we should be getting a drop on these indices, really, but doesn't seem to be particularly interested in dropping today. Propulsion gap holding on the NASDAQ. We haven't even tested it yet on the S&P. So let's have a quick look at these ADRs and stuff. So there's no RSIs to look at today. Totally flat. Nothing we can do about that. ADRs, we've got one weekly we looked at this morning, which was CAD Swiss, and that was all done yesterday. So that was your high of the week. That is your low of the week. That is where all of that entire week's movement, 97 pips, was done pretty much yesterday. So 225 ADR, I think we got on the CAD Swiss yesterday. So big, strong move. ADR is 43. We did 93, obviously. So yeah, over 200% of average daily range yesterday on that move. Negative for the CAD. We had the Swiss franc rallying at exactly the same time as the CAD was dropping. So perfect storm, double the movement. Huge. So that one is your only, that is a weekly. And there's your nice reversal going in now. Aussie dollar Swiss, ADR hit to the upside today. So big strong rally there. I'm out of the longs. 5-minute reversal alert. Hasn't kicked in yet. So that will be your entry. If we can put in a new high above 125 ADR, you'll probably get a tighter entry than that for the reversal when it starts to happen, but no reversal on that yet. Swiss yen is extended. So good Swiss movement today. Swiss yen extended to the downside. There's your reversal alert, which will kick in shortly. So just look for sort of a third of an ADR, half of an ADR push to the upside on that. 54 pips is half an ADR. So that would be coming back up to retest these lows. Support, resistance, retest. Euro odd. Extended to the downside. Just about to get a reversal on that one. That's just pushing back down again. So tricky to get into some of these. We're getting a lot of these massive moves off of news at the moment, which you just can't get into because the reversal alerts are just all the way back at the top of the move. So quite hard to get into these today. You kind of need to take price action, but price action obviously is a lot less reliable than a complete break in structure back to the upside. So you know the buyers are in charge. But there is a reversal alert there, and I would be targeting up there. Euro odd, I will be taking that one. Yeah, so I'll be getting into that one today. If we get a reversal alert, that is, because that is set up. Come on, chart. Yeah, so that'll be the entry. Euro CAD also extended on ADR, pretty much the same. So ADR hit. That's also a weekly level we're coming up to. Look at this thing. It's completely range bound. So this is the high from 3 weeks ago. This double top. It's kind of been invalidated over and over and over again. So that level basically isn't really valid anymore. Just because it's range bound. But we have got a nice accumulation and propulsion move started there, which they've tapped into and bought. Looks like they're trying to buy back out of. So good opportunity for a long there, but again, tricky to get into. They're all tricky to get into today because of the moves so quick on the euro announcement. You're not going to get into that one. It's all the way up the top. Euro pound, but that is an ADR hit. Euro yen, again, very hard to get in. You're going to miss half the move, 57 pips. That's half an ADR before you even get a signal. Moves too fast, too hard. These fundamental moves, when you get news events related to interest rates, inflation, that sort of thing, and the market tanks like this, it obviously does it very, very quick. So the opportunity to try and get in on this is like standing in front of a steam train. You just want to let it peter out, and then you'll get a nice tight entry on it. Or just leave it. If it just wants to sort of do that, you know, by the time you've got an entry on it, you're half the move gone. So it's not ideal. New Zealand dollar Swiss also extended to the upside. This is quite nice. It's in a downtrend at the moment, ever so slightly, in a slight down channel. Lower highs, lower lows, constantly going in. Yep. So it's looking pretty good for shorts. M5. Reverse alert's going to be there. So if we're going to carry on in our current market structure, you're looking for a new low. So lots of room. You've also got that propulsion move there. So if this is going to break structure, you'd be looking to come down into that area there, which doesn't give you a lot of room. Gives you 10 pips. Half of an ADR is 18. It's only 37 ADR this. So and not there's no amazing setups today at all. It's all just a bit of a mess. We've been sitting there sideways, waiting for the euro news, and then the euro's just completely collapsed everything. So obviously, as the euro moves, the Swiss moves. So as the Swiss is weakening along with the euro, everything is rallying against the Swiss franc. So it's just all a bit of a mess today. Dow is out the highs. NASDAQ has gone sideways for 20 minutes now, 25 minutes. We haven't even broken. Look, there's your initial cash balance on the NASDAQ. So we are all inside bars on the initial move. S&P, pretty much the same thing. We have gone nowhere. The Dow is the only thing that's rallying. So I suspect these guys will probably try and push alongside it. But so Dow upside, obviously because I'm hedged. Yesterday's high is going to be ADR. So nice upside target at ADR. Looking for a bounce out of that. If that doesn't bounce and it slams through that level, we've got the high from Monday. So this is your high of the week, which we will have limit orders triggering at as well. So you've got two areas there within sort of not even a quarter of an ADR where you're probably going to find quite a substantial amount of limit orders to trigger short. So I'll get out there on the upside. Downside, just going to go with ADR, which is basically at the moment there. But obviously ADR, if we push up to there, this ADR line is going to get dragged up. So unlikely we will get down there if we're pushing up. So I don't think that's really going to be relevant. But at the moment, I'm going to leave it in that propulsion back gap out of the accumulation there. So we're ever so slightly making lower lows, look. Ever so slightly. So we're looking for an ever so slightly lower low, lower high again. Just not going anywhere, is it? We're sideways, but ever so slowly rolling over. Morning live stream is still unavailable for replay. Maybe I was banned by YouTube. No, it's still unavailable for replay. Yeah. It's in. I don't know what. I had this before. So this morning's live room isn't up at the moment because normally it goes up straight away, but only in standard definition mode, and then they render high definition mode. At the moment, it's showing rendering, so it goes into a rendering state. But it's going into a rendering state on the standard definition, which means that something's gone wrong, basically, in the rendering of the video. So I don't know why it's done it, but it is. It's showing rendering for me in my dashboard. So we have to wait. It's rendering standard definition and high definition at the same time. high definition rendering can take sort of 4 to 6 hours. So it finished at about 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Probably in the next hour and a half-ish, maybe, it'll be up. But yeah, I don't know, Gregors. It's broke. They've been fiddling with stuff. I said in Telegram, I've had problems this week getting streams scheduled, because when I come off stream, I just go straight in and reschedule tomorrow. And it's been failing all week. And I have to try it 3 or 4 times. So something's going on, obviously, under the hood somewhere that's causing a few issues, but they'll fix it. You didn't miss much this morning. As you saw this morning, we spent virtually all morning for 2 hours talking about crap, because it just didn't go anywhere. It was rubbish. There was no ADRs, there was no RSIs, it was dead. So you didn't miss much. I rehedge by putting pending orders below the recent lows, above the recent highs. Yeah, that's how you would rehedge, with obviously the full amount of lot size that you have on. Getting close to target on this NASDAQ. Not very convincingly, but it is getting there. Euro New Zealand. If anybody's got any pairs they want to look at, let me know, because there's nothing else to look at. It's flat. So I can look at stuff. Euro New Zealand's moving nicely to the downside. So Euro's still dropping. Hourly candle's just gone in. There's your propulsion gap formed. Let's just see if we get a rally off of the hourly candle on the indices. Yeah, a bit of volume coming in now. So you quite often, when an hourly candle closes, or on the hour basically, not when an hourly candle closes, when the clock strikes 12 on the hour, you get a lot of volatility quite often coming in, because a lot of traders obviously are trading hourly movement. So you get an influx of orders on the hourly candle or on the hour, which can cause obviously a big spike on 5 minutes. But you can see this is just starting to liven up. Look, a lot more volume coming in now. Candles going like that rather than like that. Just big volume. So new orders coming in on the hour. We've also got the home sales figures coming out, which don't really tend to do a lot. 664 for the 648 forecast. So they've sold more homes. Well done. Selling your homes. Builders. Doesn't really affect anybody. So yeah, Euro New Zealand breaking down nicely. Not been any entries on this all month. I haven't traded this month. Last entry would have been back here. But yeah, nothing for me this month on this one. So just pulling back. So watching those, that area of support resistance. So that propulsion gap basically, target to the downside. If we're not going to return to the origin. But I mean, there's no bullish or bearish bias on any of this at the moment. This could go absolutely anywhere. Oh, yen's pushing up again. Rejected it again, look. Every time. This propulsion gap out of this accumulation. Rebought, 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 rebought. Just driving me mad. But we're also making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So basically this is a descending wedge, which is a bear pattern. So it's looking good, but it's taking its sweet time, isn't it? Another day is going to cost me about another $80 to $100 in swaps. Makes it harder and harder to get out with a profit, because when I get down to target down here, it looks like a lovely trade, but it's going to be like about 0.4% or something ridiculous. Swaps have gone up a lot over the last year, 18 months, basically, because obviously your swap is the difference in interest rate differentials, or it's the interest rate differential. So on the yen, we were trading with the pound at 0%, and they were trading at negative 0.1. With the pound now, we're trading at 5.5 now on the pound. I haven't looked at them for ages in any detail because they haven't been changing, have they? I've forgotten where we are with the pound. Yeah, it's 5.25. So now the differential is 5.15. It was 0.1. So the interest you're paying now is 5.1, not 0.1. Big difference holding swaps overnight. So TP1 hit on the NASDAQ. So I got a really itchy nose for some reason. Feels like there's a spider climbing up my nose. You didn't need to know that, did you? So propulsion gap filled, TP1 hit on the NAS. I'll let that run. I was just toying with the idea of closing this because I got $170 sitting there. It's a $145 hedge. If the S&P breaks, that's the profit for the day. But profit on the first half is $100, which pays for 2/3 of that hedge anyway. So I'm just going to let it run and see if we can get a drop. It really doesn't look like it's got any legs. It's struggling ever so hard. If that TP hit there, look, I mean, it's just turned straight into a dead stone doji. It's just the sellers are struggling, really struggling to get short at the moment. But on the upside, it means that it will come down, hopefully, if it goes long. The Dow is so annoying of late. Keeps getting hedged. Yeah. This is what I showed in my P&L. The Dow has cost me money this month. I've made good money on the NASDAQ, good money on the S&P, good money on the DAX. Not so good money on the FTSE, and the Dow I've made a loss. So just one of those things at the minute, the Dow. But you get that. Not every instrument is going to make money every month. I got really itchy nose. It's almost like I want to do a constant sneeze, but I can't. Probably something to do with this cold. I haven't coughed. Have you noticed? Really bad yesterday, but today's, touch wood, really good. Could touch my desk, couldn't it? That's good. On a funded account, taking extensions at support resistance levels, I'm in Aussie dollar yen buys. Aussie dollar yen buys. Where have you taken a support bounce? I would class that as your downside support. Unless you're taking intraday support bounces, which would be yesterday's low pretty much. But this yen looks like it's powering up to me. It looks like it wants to come down. So I wouldn't be long at the moment. We've got Aussie retail on Tuesday. We've got CPI for the Aussie on Wednesday next week. So the outlook could change for the Aussie yen specifically next week. So we could get a big move on the Aussie, either up or down next week. But there's no news catalyst to drive the yen or the Aussie until next week. Excuse me. But I mean, it's if you look at the grand scheme of things, this is the beginning of January here. Yeah. So what have we realistically done in January? Not a lot, have we? Yeah. So the actual January movement is that. So this could easily come down to here. It could push back up into there, and we could just honor this. All the trend line junkies have just bought it. Yeah, so they're buying every dip to the trend line at the moment. So that will be coming down soon, because that doesn't work, does it? We know that. Everybody's tried this. Hey, look, we've got a trend. Brilliant. I'm getting in just as the trend ends. You've missed it. It started there. You had a second opportunity there and a third opportunity there. By the time you've identified it, there's 3 touches on a trend line. It's too late, mate. You missed it. So that'll be coming down, I think. But you never know. I don't really know. But all I do know is that we are going up with interest rates, and that should be bullish yen. However, saying that, I haven't been full-time trading during any change in interest rate on the yen. So ever since I've been properly trading, the yen has always been negative 0.1. So I say it should power up because that's what everything else does. But who knows? Who knows? Emperor George running SIH on DAX, DOW and NAS. Oh, yes. You're asking him a question. Erebus posted a video of yours on Forex Factory today. Did he now? What video is that? I'm starting to think superstitious theory. 2 indices on SIH could be the sweet spot. Could be. I think with any kind of trading you do on indices, out of the FTSE, NASDAQ second half, break even on that second half, hedged on the S&P. So yeah, I mean, you should always look at indices, I think, as a portfolio product. Yeah, so trade both or more than one, because they do act independently, as we can see. So, you know, we've got a target hit on the NASDAQ today, but we haven't got a target hit on the S&P. These two tend to move in sync virtually all the time. However, they have got variances enough at the open to make a difference. The Dow, not interested in shorts, he wants to go long today. So if you trade 2 instruments as a minimum, worst case scenario, you're going to get hedged on both. Best case scenario, one of them goes and the other one hedges, in which case then it's at least a break-even day, if not a profitable day. If you get 2 hedges, you can deal with them. There's been multiple times in the last couple of weeks I've had triple hedge days and got out of every single one of them. Yesterday, prime example, all 3 hedges, got out of them all. So that's what hedging's all about. It's not about getting it right or wrong. It's about, if it works, brilliant. If it doesn't work, buy yourself the time to get out of the position. But it's much easier with a portfolio approach because if you get all of them run, like you get a big day where they all break nice and clean, it's massively profitable. But it's all about getting, at the end of the day, getting your P&L as profitable and as green as you possibly can. And like yesterday, it doesn't mean it has to work on every instrument. It means it has to work on 1 or 2 instruments, 3 instruments, you know, that sort of thing. So, but yeah, I mean, if you want to pick 2, pick 2. Doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong number. But yeah, we'll see. Day Trader, let me know what video he posted of mine. DM me in Telegram. If it's one of my YouTube videos, it's not an issue because it's fine. I don't mind people marketing for me. It's always good. But yeah. So S&P, I need to do a hedge on that, don't I? I mean, if we break short, I'm going to go yesterday's low. So we got a high, we got a couple of highs basically we've run into there. Broke it, retested yesterday and pulled away from. So we bought back out of that low yesterday. So if it breaks short, I'll go for yesterday's low. Just beyond that, we've got ADR and support at 125 ADR. So that'd be a bit of a heat to take, but we'll see. Upside S&P, tricky today. ADR is yesterday's high. So I'm going to go with an ADR hit, which just below ADR. So that's only going to be about 3R to the upside on the S&P on the 5 minute. It's actually 2R, look. So just a 2R target and hope that we get some kind of reaction there. If not, we're going to start to get a little bit of exhaustion at ADR. So that is good for upside targets, but tricky one today there. Tricky indices today. Does it make sense to just install and leave EAs with the correct settings? What's the correct settings? Think about the question you've asked. Yes, it does make sense to leave EAs with the correct settings, but what are the correct settings? What's correct? What should you be targeting upside and downside today? And which way should you go? You don't know. So how can you put the right settings on it? Because you can't predict the future. If you could predict the future, you'd know what settings to use. There is no such thing. Not with my EAs, not with any EAs, not with any strategy. There is no strategy that can see into the future. There's no EA that can predict the future. There's no EA that knows what to do, what the best settings are. What's the best trailing stop? What's the best TP to use? What's the best stop loss to use? What's the best range break to take with the opening range breakout? When you get an RSI extension, which is the best one to take? 70, 75, 80, 85? Which setting do you use? How could you can't tell. This is where everybody goes wrong. Everybody's trying to get that target hit. You can't. You can't get that point, that turning point. It's just, you can't predict what's going to happen. You have to have a set strategy. You trade and you adapt depending on what the price does, as we're doing with SIH. For me, the best settings for minimum maximum range are 10 and 20% of ADR. I don't know if they're the best settings to use today, but those are the settings when I've backtested over 3 to 5 years that have come out as being, on average, most of the time, the best thing to do. I don't know if that's going to be the same in the future or not, but at the moment, that's what I'm using. The offset I'm using for the Dow is wider than the offset I'm using on the other instruments because the Dow tends to have a very whippy 5 minute open, whereas the others don't. So I've used that offset. But if I'd have used a higher offset, I wouldn't have got hedged on it today. What's the best setting for offset? Depends on the day, doesn't it? How many times have you seen me get hedged to the pip and then market push away? The setting for that day should have been 3 pips further away than I had. If I'd have known that, I would have done it. But I can't see into the future. There is no such thing. This is why every backtest you do, every strategy that you look at, every EA you see on the marketplace is never going to do what it did because it isn't going to do the same thing. The market is not going to do the same thing. The candlesticks are never going to repeat themselves in the same way. You're never going to get the same result. You can get an edge by seeing something repeat itself over and over again with multiple variations of a strategy being different entries, different conditions, all of them generating some kind of alpha long term, but which exact setting to use every day possible to predict. There are better settings. Obviously, going for 5R every day isn't a good idea. Going for 2R every day is a better idea than going for 5R. We know that. So, you know, there's better settings because we know there's more chance of things being achieved. That's all you can do. Set it up for what you think is the best chance of achieving something and then adapt to it. All you can do. There's lots of alerts going off. Euro New Zealand, Euro US, and CAD Swiss. Euro New Zealand coming down hard. Euro US dollar coming down hard. CAD Swiss pumping hard. So really weak euro and obviously weak Swiss franc along with the euro. So more ADR extensions. You've got bigger extensions on these like Euro CAD. Now we've got 125. Euro pound is now 125 as well. So this euro getting absolutely crucified. There's nothing more come out of Lagarde. So this is just the market really not liking what they've heard. Market fully prices in 50 basis points of ECB rate cuts by June. May, June. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So 2.25 rate cuts within 3 months. So weak euro, not good for me. I'm exposed long on the euro at the minute, but CAD Swiss ADR just about to hit TP on that. I'm going to close that out. CAD Swiss. That's nice this week, look. CAD Swiss. Nice short exits, straight flipped back long, out on the retracement. Come on, pound yen, you can do it. New Zealand dollar Swiss. Just about to hit TP on New Zealand dollar Swiss. It's only 0.3, but looking at how rangy this thing is and the fact that we are just coming down, I'm expecting a lower high to go in. So I've targeted the propulsion gap rather than trying to be clever. There you go. CAD Swiss out. Again, beautiful. Look. This is on the hedging strategy. Yeah, so reversal alert on the hourly there. Reversal alert there. That's because of spread. That's why that's too close. Out of both of those, came down, reversal alert long, out of that, reversal alert short, second entry, out of that, reversal alert long, out of that, straight back down, reversal alert long, out of that. Good day. Market conditions are very nice for hedging at the minute, though. Will change, we will get a squeeze, that will go up. But yeah. Pushing out the high on the S&P, and Dow's obviously off as well. AJ4Y heard a YouTuber trader saying market to crash after today due to Wolf Moon. Yep. Have you heard about moon phase trading? Yes. Somebody tried to get me to build an EA, a Chinese guy tried to get me to build an EA based on moon phases. So I asked him for a moon phase indicator and I never heard from him again. How the hell can you build an EA to trade moon phases? You probably could. There's probably a website somewhere you could scrape data from for when there's full moons and all that sort of stuff. But yeah. Yeah. No. No. Just no. Really don't like trading EG. It does nothing and then squeezes over and over again. Yeah, EG's the any pair that you trade with a tiny ADR is always going to be difficult to extract money out of. Euro pound has got a 37 ADR. So looking at ADRs is the lowest. It usually is the lowest. I think it still is the lowest at the moment. New Zealand dollar Swiss is 37. Sorry, 43 is the ADR. I'm looking at the wrong column. Yeah, 43 is ADR, 44 New Zealand dollar Swiss. Got 32 New Zealand US. Look at these. These ADRs are so small at the moment. Look at them, 30s and 40s everywhere. But euro pound, yeah. The problem with euro pound and why it's so difficult to trade is because the euro and the pound are so close trade partners. So when something affects the euro, it affects the pound. And when it affects the pound, it affects the euro. So what you tend to get is an awful lot of equilibrium and not a lot of intraday movement, because there's no reason for one to drive higher than the other. It's in our interest to keep everything as close to parity as we can, basically, so that we can trade freely and easily without anybody getting a massive advantage. So you don't tend to get a lot of movement. The only time you will is when there is a sudden interest in one currency over the other, i.e. the pound says we are going to put our interest rates up again. The pound is going to rally, and obviously euro pound will come down. And then the euro will combat that by saying we're going to put our interest rates up as well. And then the euro will rally against the pound and you get back to where you were. But if you look at it on the grand scheme of things, the euro pound, yeah, this is going back to May last year. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We don't go anywhere. We sit sideways for ages until something happens that makes one a little bit better than the other. We don't go anywhere. Therefore, it has a contracted ADR. 30. Tiny, tiny, tiny. But it does move. You know, when you go down intraday into it, it does move, but it's not the best pair in the world. I've been stuck in the euro pound for a long time. And also swaps are big on that as well. Everything's got big swaps at the moment. It's just nasty. Just got into profit over 2 weeks. Short Euro New Zealand. Good one. Yeah, so you would have struggled if you got in. You probably got in somewhere around there, I guess. Just putting back on that move. Did you know that on the bottom row, where all the charts are listed, on the end, there is an empty space? If you double tap it, it brings up all the charts and you can go into any you want. Genius. I never knew that. I learned something new about MT4. Congratulations, AC. You are more knowledgeable about MT4 than I am. Didn't know that. But then I would have to question, why not just, you can't see them because my head's in the way. But why not just click on the tab you want? Is that not easier to do than double click, find it, click the activate button? Why not just click the button? I don't know. I may have known that in the past and just gone pointless and wiped it out of my brain. I've got one of those memories, right, where my wife will attest to this. She says, I told you about that 2 weeks ago. And I'll go, what did you tell me about? And it'll be something. And she'll go, and I'll get the information and I'll go, I don't need to know that. And immediately it'll be out of my brain again. So you can tell me as many times as you like something that I find useless. I will never retain that information. For me, that's one of those things which, yeah, it's quite funky, but it's useless because I can just do that and click on the button and change it. I've just realized people must think I'm a magician because you can't see me clicking the buttons, can you? When I say there's no ADRs today, there's no RSIs, you've no idea how I'm changing those, have you? Because you can't see me clicking the buttons. I've just realized because I'm down here in the corner clicking the buttons behind my head. And that's how I'm doing it. Things are becoming clear. But yeah, that is a very good, funky little thing, but not of any use to me. So probably one of those things. I literally, my brain doesn't retain anything that is not important. Stuff that doesn't affect me, has no effect on my future, or isn't important. Just don't go in. And yet I can retain every episode of Star Trek because it's important and I like it. But other things, gone. One of those weird brains, I guess. I discovered that just now by accident. Yeah. Also, did you know? I can't remember how to do it. It's not that, because you've just told me that. There's a way. Yes, that. Look. So on your chart, if you go to the bottom left-hand corner, you see it comes up with CHF5 and it says double click for editing. If you double click in the bottom left-hand corner of your chart, you can type in any symbol and period, H1, and it will change that chart. So you can, there's a search function down here. People don't know about that either. Again, I never use it. What's the point? Why can't I just go like that and that? It's much quicker and easier for me to do that than it is for me to go down the bottom and type in, I want to go to this chart and this time frame. Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong time frame. Just not as quick. That's why I do that, because it's quicker. That's probably a trader's brain, but it's ADHD. Yeah, quite probably. It's amazing what you can discover by accident. Like the measuring tool, yeah, where you get the crosshair up and you can measure. Yeah, so it measures how many candles, it measures how many pips up, pips down, and it tells you the price. Yeah, that thing, right? For years, I was going up to the crosshair, clicking that, and then I was like, oh, you can do Control F. I was going Control F. Oh, that's brilliant. And then I accidentally clicked the middle mouse button, and by magic, it does the same thing. So I don't even have to hit Control F on the keyboard or move up to the top of the chart. I can just press the middle mouse button. It's all default. Years it took me to discover that. It was a total accident. I accidentally misclicked the mouse, clicked the mouse button. I was like, why does the crosshair come up? How do I get rid of that? Oh. It's amazing what you figure out by accident, isn't it? Some of the most biggest scientific things in the world have been discovered by accident, haven't they? Some bloke sitting underneath a tree. Apple. Gravity. Total accident. If you hadn't been sitting underneath that tree, we'd all be floating now. He discovered gravity. Also works on MT5? Yes, probably will. Most things that work on MT4 work on MT5, apart from MT5 itself. That drag and drop thing on the VPS changes magic numbers. Is it? I don't know. Don't know about that bit. Hitting the space bar brings up a search bar. Oh, does that? Oh, yes, so that thing I just told you about, where you click in the bottom corner and it does that. You can hit the space bar and do the same thing. Again, absolutely no use for it whatsoever. Much easier just to do that. But anyway, or if you want to, you can hit the space bar and type it. God, market's dead again. Talking rubbish. It's a bloody good thing someone discovered that beating then. That discovered heart beating, yeah? Craig, when I'm back testing, I get the standard black background, which is not good to see. How can I back test with a white template? So in your system, when you go into the back tester, when you click the start button, it automatically uses a template called tester. Yeah. So it will auto load the tester template and run it. Yeah. So all you do is you open a new chart, blank chart. You set the chart up as you want it. So you can set up the zoom level, the default time frame. You can drag any indicators you want onto the chart, right? And then you right click, template, save template, and you save the template as tester. Yeah, so the template called tester will automatically load when you run a strategy test. So if you've got, I use, as you can see, this is my tester template is blank. Actually, it's got a moving average on because I was testing an MA strategy. But so if you just remove that, so if I remove that MA, yeah. Those that don't know, if you right click on the moving average, you can press delete and delete the moving average. There you go. Learn something else about MT4. So if I now save that as tester, sorry, I've loaded tester. You can also change the moving average by double clicking. If I now save that template as tester, the next time I load something in the strategy tester, it will load a blank template without the moving average on. So you just set it up as you want it to. And obviously you go into properties to set up the color scheme, all that sort of stuff. There you go. Another lesson in MT4. Mustafa, are you using MT5 platform? No, MT4. MT4 is best. Do not use MT5. Do not use MT5. It's awful. Beginia will disagree with you, or is it Amy? I can't remember. But some people do use MT5, have no problems. However, if there's ever going to be a problem, it's going to be an MT5. And I have absolutely no reason to use it. There's nothing advantageous about MT5 above MT4 for me personally. So it's faster, it works quicker, it's more stable, it doesn't get updated automatically by MQL5 and broken with bugs that break absolutely everything, as it did last week. Everybody's indicators broke worldwide. All of their indicators, all their EAs got unloaded from the charts. Any trades they were in using EAs all have to be manually managed now because they introduced a bug by updating in something and making it better. And you don't have a choice. So use MT4. It's just quicker. There's absolutely no reason. If your broker supports MT4, which 95% of brokers do, use it. If you really want to use MT5, it's got a different strategy tester at the end of the day. So you can test multiple pairs. But you cannot select your own data either. That's the other thing I don't like about MT5 strategy tester. It's got advantages. However, if you want to backtest with tick data and you want to use some other broker's tick data in MT5, it's an absolute pain in the ass. In MT4, you just download tick data suite, select it, done. I sell indicators in EAs, not many, but of the ones I do, every single problem I get in Telegram is MT5. No one has ever contacted me with a problem with an MT4 indicator or EA. Ever, hand on heart. They haven't. It's always MT5. So I can only go by my experience. Can't wait for the MT5 version of the new position trading EA. Yes, it will come out, but it won't work. It will work. But I can guarantee you someone will be in touch going, did you know? Yes. And it will be MT5. Sometimes trades disappear. That'll be your broker. They shouldn't disappear on your terminal. But I wouldn't put it past it. I really wouldn't. I don't know. But yeah. Right. So indices are utterly confused today. we have got this propulsion move off the back of the US news, which has obviously rallied the market. Since then, since the open, basically, we are completely back to the open on both. So we've had ever such a slight push down, less than 1R. We've gone up 1R on the S&P, and we're back to start. We've managed to get 2R on the Dow, and obviously 2R on the NASDAQ. So this it's not going anywhere at the moment. We're coming up to an hour and a half in the next sort of 20 minutes. So when we get there, we'll see if we can get some movement this afternoon. But it's just non-starter today. Again, we've had a lot of days like this over the last week or so. It's becoming a thing, a regular thing, getting very, 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 very crappy New York sessions. European market is doing way better, in my opinion, at the moment than the US for actually doing stuff. And we're in earnings fortnight as well, the most volatile period of the quarter. Doesn't look very volatile to me, does it? Anyway, not a lot we can do with that. This is just crap today. Yeah, it is crap. Thoughts on running the hedging set file on M5? Would it have the potential for lower drawdown due to getting in and out of positions quicker? I don't know. Test it. The hedging set file that I put out with the EA and with the strategy from the website is using RSI as a filter. So obviously the H1 hedging set file that I'm running does not use RSI as a filter. So the idea being is we're using an RSI extension to only get into our initial entries when we've got that movement, and then we get in again on the reverse. But I don't know, you'd have to test it, Mumo. I've never tested it. So can't answer that one. I have now switched to MT4 and cited all indicators and dashboards and bought more today. Oh. Because my work is so cool. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've had, not this argument, but I've had this conversation with MetaTrader a number of times. There's two things I just really wish MQL5 would do. And I kind of understand why they do it. It's from a commercial standpoint. But if there's an indicator available for MT4 and there's an indicator available for MT5, you should only pay once for the indicator. It's an indicator. Yeah. If you're using MT4 and your broker decides, actually, we need you to use MT5 now, you shouldn't have to pay for it again, in my opinion. An indicator is an indicator. Pick whichever platform you want, or both. I don't think they should charge you separately for individuals, personally, but they think different. Obviously, double the sales, I guess. Obviously. But and the other thing is some kind of discounting system where people like myself who have multiple products should be able to say, if you want to buy the entire suite of stuff, here you go, it's 50% off. Can't do that either. There's no discounting structure. There's no sales structure. There's no coupon codes. There's nothing. They don't offer any of that. And I've brought it up multiple times. First of all, from a vendor perspective, because when it comes around to Black Friday, for example, I want to be able to press a button and go Black Friday sale, not going to every single one of my products, of which there are now over 20, and have to go in and manually adjust all the prices. It takes me forever. And I just think, you know, they're missing a trick. I really do. But obviously from a financial point of view, they, you know, if, like Rico's just said, if he switches from MT4 to MT5, he's got to buy everything again. It's not right, is it? I don't think you should have to do that. But I don't make the rules, they do. So, but anyway, the more people I can push just to use MT4, the better, because then they won't have to switch when they find out how bad it is. But a lot of people come to that conclusion themselves. But then again, like Amy's just said, MT5 is awesome. There's a lot of people that have no problems with MT5. But I think it's down to how you use the terminal, how you use the platform, and what you use on it. Some things work better than others. So if you're using very blank charts and just one EA to trade with, like the Price Action Toolkit or something, you won't have any problems. If you're loading 15 indicators onto your chart and then sticking an AA on top of it, it's not going to work. So everybody has a different experience with it. Me personally, I have a number of things I need on my charts, not overloading it with indicators, but there's just stuff I need to see and I want to be aware of, which means there's a lot of calculations going on. As there's a lot of calculations going on, it adds load. MT5 is terrible at using your PC for load. It uses one CPU core. I've got 24 of them. The other 23 are sitting there dormant going, no, I'm not going to do anything. This guy's going, oh, I can't keep up. If they just switched the way that MT5 worked to be multi-core, it would fix a million problems, I think, but they don't do it. MT4 doesn't need that because it hasn't got the heavy load graphical user interface MT5 has. Just, you know, there's personal preference. A lot of people use different, you know, trading view and all sorts of other platforms. Nothing wrong with that either. US dollar Swiss getting close to target. I've just got out on that, but yeah, target is that propulsion or that propulsion, wherever you want, really. It's a 50% retracement, so we might get a down leg from that. Yen, come on, yen. Right, pound CAD getting close to take profit as well. I haven't got a target set on this one. That's within ADR today, and it's above 50% of that propulsion move. So I'm just going to get out down there, which will bank about another 0.3, 0.4 on that today. 1.69 already banked on the ADR reversals. Just need that yen to strengthen up a little bit. Out of New Zealand dollar Swiss. Did I close that manually? Yeah, that's when I closed manually, wasn't it? Right, so I'm going to leave it there. So for the indices, it's not looking great, is it? I mean, it's just going nowhere. So I'm loath to get out of this early, just in case we get one of these towards end of day. We've only got a few hours left, but there's a chance we might get a big move towards the end of the day after lunch in New York. So at the minute, we haven't gone anywhere. So nothing much you can do with it at the minute. So downside targets, you could look at a pre-market bounce if you want to off of this low. Yesterday's low is my target to the downside there, and upside I'm going yesterday's high up there, but downside target on the Dow, I'm all the way down in that second propulsion gap beyond ADR. So I will watch what happens there, but it's a very difficult exit today because it's, I mean, if you look at the last couple of days of price action and the actual movement that we've had, we've done it. Look, so they're all pretty equidistant, aren't they? This is what ADR is all about. What's the average range that we do? That we've done it today. So it's very difficult to predict what we're going to do from here because we've done today's range pretty much of what we've done in the last 3 days. So there's a very good probability of us bouncing out of that low today. So there is an option there. So watch price action there. If you get an obvious retracement, and if you see the S&P pop and the NASDAQ pop when we get down to there on the Dow, probably a good time to pop. So just need to watch it. Nothing we can do with it today. It's just not going anywhere, is it? So one of them. For me, the US 30 has the most profitable index compared to the rest of the indices. See, I'm totally the opposite, Georgios. Yeah, this is what trading is all about, and this is why backtesting is so bloody useless, isn't it? We're both trading the same strategy. You're thinking the Dow is the best thing since sliced bread. This thing's lost me money this month. These two have made me loads of cash. You've just lost all of your profit this month. I'm making a good profit this month. We're trading the same strategy. Yeah. Discretion comes into trading. There is no way of getting around it. If you don't have discretion, it's very, very difficult to make money. So, like I just said there today, some people will take that if it gets there today and it will work. If it doesn't work, some people will re-hedge it, some people won't. And if it pops down to there and you haven't re-hedged it and then it rallies up to there, well done you. There's so many things that can happen. It can go up or down, but, Someone claiming to be me in Telegram. Oh, you mean you're being DM'd by someone claiming to be me in Telegram? Yeah. You will do. I'm thinking about closing the Telegram group. Not closing the Telegram group, but I'm thinking about locking the Telegram group down so that people can't comment, and making it a read-only platform. So I will put information out there, but you can't post. If you want to contact me, no problem. I will post in there all my they're all in there anyway, my contact details. And I'll put a post in there every day that automatically goes out saying, this is a read-only platform. If you want to contact me, here's my Telegram, contact me. Yeah. Because literally everybody that arrives in this group, as soon as they post their first comment, 1, 2, or 3 spammers are on them and scamming them. And I've had literally every week I get at least 2 or 3 people contacting me having lost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So these guys are making hundreds, if not thousands of dollars constantly. And I'm fed up with them. The only thing I can think of is to shut the group down, not close the group, but to shut down posting. If you can't post in there, they cannot contact you. No one gets scammed. If you need me, contact me. So 90% of the posts that go in the Telegram group, I'm looking over there as if you can see it, but 90% of the posts that go in the Telegram group are people asking me questions about the products, about the indicators, etc., etc. That's what it's for. It's a support group for the strategies, indicators, and the EAs. So it can still be that, but you can just DM me. Rather than posting it here, you just DM me. That way no one gets scammed, do they? There's nearly 5,000 people in this group. And every single day, people are contacting me saying, I've been scammed. Yeah, $170 earlier this week, somebody paid a scammer for a set file for my EA that costs $99. Now, I feel sorry for them, but I sell a product for $99 and you've just bought a set file for it for twice the price the product costs. You have to ask the question, seriously, use your brain. Why would I sell you something, a setting for something that's cost twice the price of the product? It's ridiculous, but people are buying it. So, and it's all payment by crypto. I don't accept crypto. I haven't got crypto. I don't do crypto. You know I don't do crypto. Everything I do is buy the MQR5 marketplace. But I can't think of any other way to stop these guys because DayTrader FX, you've just posted. And he's just said in here, someone's just contacted you. Yeah, that's what happens. You post, immediately they're on you. Hi, welcome to the group. How are you finding it so far? Any questions? Got any problems? Yeah, all going well. Have you bought any of my products? Yeah, I've got the market reverse alerts EA. Oh, fantastic. I've got a set file for you. Come on. 99% of people know it's a scam. And there's a message. Again, I say it over and over again. Pinned message. How do people miss this? Warning about scammers. I will never put the rest of the T on the end, contact people about it. Yeah. This message goes out every single day in the group. Every single day. When you join the group, when a new member joins the group, they get a pop-up message appearing here for 3 minutes. It says exactly the same thing. I will never contact you. It's scammers everywhere, yeah? But I can't stop them. And it's driving me nuts that people are losing money to these pricks. Most of them probably from the usual places that scammers live. But I don't know. I don't want to shut the group down, but equally, you can't comment in there without someone attacking you. And there's a lot of people that come in here from third world countries looking for help. I'm not being horrible, but they're not quite as switched on technologically. So they believe it's me. I don't know what to do about it. Everybody has the same problem as in Telegram and Discord. I was thinking of moving to Discord. Same problem in Discord. I've got Discord channels. I'm in loads of servers on Discord. I get contacted constantly. Same thing's going to happen, isn't it? So, but, you know, I don't see a problem with it being read-only. If somebody contacts me and asks me a question and I think, wow, that's a really good question, here's a really good answer, I will post that in the group, obviously with the person's permission. And I've done that before with other people that have DM'd me. And I said, do you mind if I just post this? Because the question you've asked and the answer I've given is really educational. Let's let everybody else know about it. But equally, I kind of want to encourage discussion as well, but I don't really have a solution for it. But I still post charts. I'll still post, you know, all the stuff that I post, it will still go in there. It's just, instead of typing to me in there, you press the DM button. Very easy, isn't it? But it stops the idiots. Not the people that are idiots, the scammers. It stops them, doesn't it? They can't contact you. You don't post, there is no contact. Immediately stopped. He just asked if I've bought your EA. Yeah, exactly. Use Discord instead, more rules. It doesn't work, Paolo. I'm in Discord. I'm in multiple servers for funded groups, for other trading groups, for other groups with games I play and all sorts of other stuff. I get DM'd all the time by people wanting to sell me something, send me to another group, do this, do that, do the other, and I just block and report, block and report. And that's what people are doing here. They're blocking and reporting. You block and report, the next day they've got a new account. Doesn't stop it. Doesn't matter what platform it is, whether it's Discord or Telegram or whatever. It's just rife. There's nothing you can do about it. Apart from, you know, stop people posting. If you can't post, you can't get contacted. But I don't want people to moan about it because, you know, you said I'm a great multitasker. Yeah. Hang on a minute. I'm watching you in the live room and you don't seem to be typing on your keyboard. Yeah, you are typing on your keyboard to me. This is the other thing. They're that stupid. They know I run a live room. I just posted in there at 2:20. Live room. The trading room is about to go live for the New York trading session. They know damn well I'm in a live room now. So anybody they try and scam in there knows I'm in the live room. The scammers are that stupid. But somehow they just managed to get away with it. It's actually crazy that people fall for it. I know it is. And it annoys the hell out of me that people, I get annoyed that people fall for it because I would never fall for that sort of thing because I'm, you know, I just know about it. But people don't. Some people don't ever use Telegram. Some people's first experience of Telegram is following this link on my website. Yeah. They click on Telegram, join the group, and they've never used it before. And it says install Telegram. Yeah. Set up a username, password. They land in the group and they get a message. They don't know what's going on. They read something. All of a sudden I contact them. I can understand why people fall for that. I get it. If you've not used Telegram before, you don't know, do you? But then again, if you've not used Discord before, you wouldn't know. But if you've got half a brain, but then again, you know, people don't know what costs things are. So, you know, I do get it, but also, like Martin just said, you can't fix stupid. There are some people out there that, I mean, some people have contacted me and said, I'm really stupid. And I have to agree. But they get it, you know. It's like I've got a friend who fell for a scam and got scammed out of 40 grand, and it was the old Microsoft support scam. Yeah, he got a phone call. It's Microsoft support. You've got a virus on your computer, and he fell for it. They got onto his computer via remote. They got him to go log into his online banking. They put up a screen saying, okay, we're just clearing. The virus is off your screen. In the background, they were in his banking, transferring all his money out, right? He told me about it and he said, I'm so stupid. I said, you're not stupid, mate. You're really stupid. How could you possibly fall for that? It's the oldest scam in the book, the most publicized scam on the planet. You're not that stupid. But he fell for it. He lost 40 grand. He's still fighting to get it back, but from his bank, and they are going to give it back to him. But there's a lot of hoops. It's a big amount of money. That scammer's got it. 40 grand. But you know, there are some scams you haven't heard of. But you know, I would like to think that I would never fall for one. But at some point, I'm going to be like 70 years old, starting to go a little bit mad. And when Microsoft phone me, I go, yes, I remember Microsoft. I used to use that before I switched over to Apple. Oh, sorry, can't help you because I can't hack Apple. Who knows? Locking it down might help, but we'll lose the occasional banter in the group. Yeah. And we like, you know, I like the occasional nutter that comes in as well. It's entertaining when people come into the group that are completely lunatic and they start going mental and start calling, you're a scammer, you're a scammer. I've just bought this one. It's like, hang on a minute, calm down. Have you used it yet? Nope, it doesn't install. Right. I miss those people. They entertain me for a while. And then I have to block them because I realize they really are mad and you have to get rid of them. Brian knows. Brian had one of them. There's a guy posting in there that I decided to help. Brian decided to help him at the same time. I told Brian I'd blocked him because it was just not working. And Brian realized as well. But they're fun sometimes. You've got to play with people. You've got to entertain yourself because 99% of the time the market is doing this and you just have to sit there and entertain yourself. Some people are just entertaining, aren't they? I find the chart that was posted quite interesting. Well, this one, yeah, I mean, this is obviously a scammer. I don't know who that is. Okay, Arja. But yeah. Why? I mean, why even post it? Why? It's just like, and this is the other thing that gets me. I spend 90% of my time deleting stuff like that because it's just pointless crap. Some people are going to go through the group and they're going to be like, what's that chart? Why is it taking so many trades? Oh, look at the profit he's made. Yeah, he's gambling. You got, you know, it's a full-time job trying to run a Telegram group, I tell you. I'd miss getting people's reactions to stuff. So, yeah, well, you can still react to things, i.e. thumbs up, thumbs down and stuff, but you can't re-comment on the stuff. And also, people post a lot of interesting stuff, like yesterday or the day before. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Nick. Posted about his experience. Yeah, Nick. Posting his, I don't know if Nick's in here, but posting his experience with the strategies. Yeah, these posts are great. This is Nick's experience with the strategies, running 3 accounts, all in profit. It's turned his trading career around. Fantastic to hear. People know that it can be done. They see me do it every day, but they know that other people can learn this and do this. It's very easy when you know what you're doing. But this I would miss. And if Nick posted it to me, I could repost it in the group still. But I don't really want to shut that down. I don't know what else I can do. You know, it's just like I can only post every day that the scammer's in the group. But if you don't read that post, you're going to get scammed. John will be lonely. John. He still contacts me on MQL5. He's probably in it now. I've muted him on MT5 and he still comes up. It's really annoying. You get stalkers properly as well. I get stalkers. I have to block them. But there's many ways you can contact somebody, which gets a little bit worrying sometimes. Makes you realize what types of people trade Forex. Yeah, and it's the same people. I've been around Forex for 15 years, don't forget. I was a regular on Forex Factory. I've been regular on Forex Peace Army. Loads and loads of well-known forums, trading forums. I know everybody in this industry that's been around for 10 years. They are all in my Telegram group as well. And a lot of them have been banned from a lot of platforms and stuff because they are just loonies. There's a lot of them out there. It's human beings. Can't help it. There's a lot of loonies out there. Afternoon, Guna. In my country, scammers scam us from prison. Not from the internet, do they? If you give somebody in prison an internet connection and a telephone, that's probably not the best idea, is it? Really? I almost fell for the HMRC tax refund scam. Yeah, I mean, some of these text messages you get from delivery companies and stuff, and HMRC tax refunds, and my phone rings at least twice a week with Amazon or my bank saying that there's been 2 transactions going out. Press 1 if you want to authorize these transactions, which obviously £2,500 to Amazon that I haven't spent, or press 2 if you'd like to speak to customer support. Straight through to the scammer. Hello. Yes, you got a couple of transactions. Okay, if you'd like to just give me your PIN number, your bank account, your sort code, and the login for your online banking, I will sort that out for you. Okay, but people fall for it. I don't know. We had one, I don't know if it's a scam or not, but we had 3 parcels delivered from Amazon a couple of weeks ago, right? To my address, but to a woman who's never lived here, right? And all 3 of the items were less than £1 in value. So to me, that's got to be somebody trying a credit card to see if they can get low volume purchases through and delivered before they go in for the big one, surely. But the worrying thing is it got delivered to my address. There's probably some kind of scam going on there. So the first thing we did when we got these things was like, check your bank account. It's all fine, but there's some scam going on there as well. You know, there's lots of scams going on all over the place. You just got to be savvy. It's too good to be true. It is. Verify everything. All you can do. I'm talking to 74 people. There's 4,858 people in there that aren't listening to this. They're all going to get scammed. Can't you make it by invite only? I can. Yeah, but how do I know who the scammers are? So let's say, for example, somebody bought something and got into the group. How do I know they're not a scammer? The problem is you don't know who the people that are contacting are not in the group. You guys can't see this, but I can see every member. There's that guy that just posted that stupid chart. But I can see every member. You guys can't see this. And I deliberately hid all of this so that people couldn't just click and DM everybody. So that's one step better than Discord, in my opinion. You guys can't see the member list. I can. Every person that is a scammer, the people that are sending me these people, they're not in here. So there is a sleeper account in here, which is the scammer's account, which they are not using to contact scam people. But how do I know who that is? Could be one of you. 73 people in here. Could be one of you. I don't know. Can't police it. You can't do anything about it. But it drives me nuts. I just can't stand the fact that people are scamming people on the back of my name. And it's just, I hate it. But what about WhatsApp? But WhatsApp, you can see everybody in the group. What stops them? Just think, what stops every social media platform out there? What stops? There isn't one that can stop scammers, because a scammer is just an account. I just don't see anything you can do apart from warn people. But I can certainly stop this one, because if you don't post, you don't get the message from the scammer. So that I can fix, definitely. It's the only solution there is. And it doesn't stop people contacting me. But if I forward a message on from you guys into the group, they can then click on that and they can scam you. So if I was going to forward something, I would say, you're contacting me, you're talking to me in a DM now, right? It's okay if I forward this into the group, just to let you know, if anybody contacts you that is not in this account you're having this conversation with right now, it ain't me. Be aware, it's a scammer. Forward. That fixes a problem, doesn't it? Could make it a paid group. But why wouldn't a scammer pay $10 or $20 or whatever it would cost to go into a paid group to access all these people? you'd have more confidence in a contact from a paid group coming from me than you would from a free one, probably, wouldn't you? No telly, what am I to do? Oh, poor John. Confused John. He's got a hand problem again. That's not right. Look at the size of his thumb. And he's got no fingernails. 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, thumb finger. It'll never, ever get it right. It can't do hands. AI just can't do hands. Never will be able to. If we evolve into AIs from human beings, we're all going to be walking around like that. Because AI won't know what these are. Because it can't do them. It can do everything else. It just can't do these. Look. Anyway, how is Nick managing to run position trading on 1 to 30 leverage? I don't know. I don't know. Very well, very carefully, but very worryingly, at some point, possibly going to get hurt. I don't know. 1 to 30 is not enough. 1 to 30, I can just about trade 5 indices, but I got margin called yesterday, very close to a margin call yesterday, because I had a triple hedge. I had a quadruple hedge on yesterday. I had the FTSE hedged and then all 3 US indices hedged at the same time. As soon as I took 1 of those or 2 of those off, my margin dropped below 100%. That's just trading 5 indices. Imagine having 15 positions on in 15% drawdown. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure how it works, but I'd be worried. What's the new EA you're developing? It's basically a new position trading EA. It's a simplified, it's a really simplified version of the market reversal alerts EA, but it's not to do with market reversal alerts. It's position trading. So it's the concept of position trading, but without the market reversal alerts EA indicator. Yeah. So using RSI, using ADR, and using either price action or moving average entries or pending order entries, as we do with the stock index hedge EA. So it's something I've been thinking about for a while, and also the ability to manually trade. Yeah. So I have no positions on the pound New Zealand right now. This looks good for a short. Bang. I'm in. Next short position will be taken there. When we get up to there and we get some kind of entry criteria that I've set, I will get into my second entry. But this is all fully managed by the EA and it's all automatically stored. The other great thing about this EA is if I fancy, what is this? Pound New Zealand. So if I fancy whipping over to the Aussie New Zealand to have a look at that, I can do. It loads. Yeah, switch time frames. Do what I like. And then I can go back to whatever I just took that trade in. I can't remember what it was. My brain. Wow. Short memory. Pound New Zealand. So I can whiz back to the Pound New Zealand and it remembers everything I just did. And you notice I'm now on the 15-minute time frame. I just took that trade on the 1 minute. So I can flip back down and back where I was. Brilliant. I get 1 to 50 to 1 on the majors, 30 to 1 on crosses. You need to be very selective with your approach. Yeah. You will get different leverage on different instruments. Just by the way, this thing, yeah, I'm not joking, right? I've been testing this on M15, M1 from a extension entry perspective, right? I don't, obviously, as you know, I don't trade M1 because it's just chop. So far this week, it's banked $6,200. And we're in $440 odd of drawdown. When did it start? 23rd. So 23rd, 24th. So in 2.5 days, it's banked 6K. And I've only been trading on 5 instruments on auto. And I've also taken the odd manual to test it, like that. Like I just did there. I just hit the button at random and gone, oh, let's go short, and it just gets itself out. I might have discovered the Holy Grail. Obviously, it's early to tell, but yeah, not a bad return, is it? Considering it's just something completely in development that I'm just putting on there at random. Said 15 minutes. If we get extended, just jump in on the 1 minute time frame and scale in and get out at $200, please. Seems to work fine. So I know. So is that Amy? Is it Amy or who's trading M1 in here? Someone in here is trading M1 on prop. And I think it's M15 M1. So the only reason I'm using this time frame is for testing purposes, because obviously for testing, it's in and out. The price action is minute by minute by minute instead of hour by hour by hour. So for testing purposes, I can get tons of entries, tons of RSI extensions all done within like a day, rather than having to wait an entire day for one alert. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? Position trading, not using a stop loss, does nothing but make money. However, I probably wouldn't condone 1 minute charts, but I would also think very carefully about using these for prop, because if your target's 8K on prop, this is a 200K account, by the way. So your target would be 16K, not 8. But it hasn't gone into drawdown. Look at it. That's in profit. That's in profit. Just hit that one. That's in loss, and the other one's in loss. Anyway. So yeah, if I have discovered the Holy Grail, I'm not letting you have it. I always said many, many years ago, if I discovered the Holy Grail, I wouldn't share it with anybody. Would you? License to print money on autopilot. I should be dead by the time I find that. Right, I've got to go because it's 4:15. Anybody needs anything, let me know in Telegram. At the moment, you still can. I'm still thinking about it. I'm not convinced I'm going to do it, but 150 ADR, Euro CAD, Euro still pumping away, look. So I'll be back tomorrow, same time for Frankfurt, 7:50, and New York, 2:20 UK. We literally are going nowhere. I'm not holding up much hope at all for getting out of these today, so this looks like it might turn into a lost day, which would be unfortunate, but nothing I can do about it. I'm up 1.3. I got 1.3. So it's a break-even day. I'm up 1.3 on the day. I've got 1.3 hedged. So if we get to the end of the day, we haven't gone anywhere. That closes that out. That comes break-even. So there's no loss today, just no profit. So we'll see what happens, but we'll have a look at it tomorrow. All right. So have a good day, good evening, etc. I will be back tomorrow, same times as usual. We'll have a look at the FX market. And yeah, see if we can squeeze some more out. All right, have a good one. I will see you guys in the next session.